maandamano wamebongesha bei ya avocado cheki Kenya iva finya kampiano promote pana leta zogo kabla shani lipe full price hapa duniani niko na one life zinga lazima kwanza baptize kwa nyongini niko na half life you know I'm gonna grab a G shawty ameweza she's a free hakunanga kitu ya free nagusa nyone kali green you know they love me for the lifestyle with the Illuminati kumbe lifestyle unasema ni bangi kumbe lifestyle top team in the big proper lifestyle had the big image up with the lifestyle then a club 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 then a club.
Yes, massive wagwan. Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother there. Reaching out to all the massive on the African continent. And in Julian too.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining us here live on the Black Hot Fire Radio Network. It's me, the lovely Ewoton on Let's Talk with Ewoton. And today we're continuing the topic in regards to how Africa was basically defeated, and the topic of the day is basically how can you redefine the African mind after being colonized, or how can you basically redefine the African mind after being brainwashed? That's another word, but I think you're gonna coin to when you're laughing. Is it brainwashed like a? It's true though. Yeah. Or basically colonized. Thank you guys for joining us live on TikTok. Kindly share and join in this conversation on how can we define the African mind after being colonized or brainwashed, and also download our app on Google Store and also stream live on Streamer. That's www.blackoutradionetwork.com. Remember, you are the change you need to see in the world, and also it's all about you understanding where you are, because we're redefining Africa as past, we're redefining ourselves. I have an amazing and beautiful panel today. Thank you guys for really making the time to come to the studio. We were live with Beth at the time, and Angel. She might pop in, but I think she might be listening. She's basically en routing, that's why she was not able to join us today. But thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited about this conversation and basically your opinions in regards how can we basically redefine the African mind. I will give you the opportunity to introduce yourself this beautiful afternoon.
Okay, my name is Beth. I've been here once in the studio, but yeah, I've been with you guys, Ewoton like twice. Yeah, that's actually me. That's basically me.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm so happy to be.
I am happy. I mean, life is good, yeah?
Yes.
We should be happy.
Of
We
course.
should be happy.
Yeah, every day. It's always
Yeah.
a good time of your life.
Exactly.
Right?
And I'm this smiley person, so yeah.
Yes.
Every day is just me being happy.
Yes. Go on, girl. Excited for you.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
So I'm training myself to smile more. Because these people have been telling me, especially one very girl there, very sweet girl, she's a sweet girl there. My name is Tom. I've been here before, and I'm glad to come here again to have this beautiful conversation.
right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And I feel like it's a good conversation, and the fact that we're talking about this, I feel sometimes you might feel like you're not making an impact. Some people like, okay, we're just talking, but I feel like you'll see in time people like going through the videos, people learning about this, and I feel like he always talks about it. He told us the other time that guys are being woke. As Africans, it's like time we're being woke right now. You just feel the urge to like really say that there's something wrong here, and you should basically talk about it and make it right. People are always right now, like as African, I'm seeing a lot of people even on TikTok, ever on YouTube, guys are speaking their mind in regards to, don't you feel like this is the thing that they should not go like this, you know? And they're trying to ask questions, refer things, and I feel it's basically that time to basically just speak the truth and basically learn about things and how basically you can do better as individuals, and also in the sectors that we're in terms of careers, in terms of the corporation that we're in, the industries that we're in. And first I feel like we have to understand how this started, and then from there we can be able to understand how we can be able to make a difference. And I first wanted to share a short video in regards to a lady. She was an ambassador of AU, and then she left because she basically figured out, like, you know what, these people are controlling us. And the fact that she left, she's been blocked a lot of times, people not the people would know that she's talking the truth, trying to cut her off, but she's basically been talking about this, and people are actually listening to her. And then from that, you can basically have this conversation and basically learn or basically come up with pointers in regards to what she's saying, if that's okay with you all.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, and I'm also waiting for your amazing ideas in regards to this conversation. Yeah, okay, I'll share this short video.
Shaka, you know as much as I do, even here in the United States, try uniting the diaspora organizations. Our problem is the mind. Colonization. Each and every one of us, we need to ask ourselves an honest question: am I colonized? Because me, if I am colonized, it doesn't matter what position you give me. My thinking is going to be colonized. My voting is going to be colonized. My decision-making process is going to be colonized. So we have to liberate ourselves. The mind is still in shackles.
So if I hear you correctly, basically what you're saying is that first and foremost, we really need fundamental changes in our attitudes and mindsets.
Bingo. Absolutely. Because that is the biggest problem. Even in this country, I was talking to one of the ambassadors. They are diaspora organizations that are sitting on over $100,000 because they cannot agree on how to spend that money.
Because they don't interact.
They don't interact. So if we're having issues interacting in our neighborhoods as Africans, can you imagine what a monstrous task it is to bring together the 55 countries and speak with one voice?
No taxation without representation.
Absolutely.
Very interesting.
So we have issues that we need to address even on an individual basis. And also, because when we look at how difficult it is just for us to loosen the shackles that bind us, the shackles that keep me from getting along with my neighbor and my sister, extrapolate that to the continent. It is no easy task, which is why even at the AU levels, they meet, they discuss, but I can tell you we are heading in the right direction. It is a tall mountain to climb, but we are on the right direction.
That's a short video by Ambassador Arikana Chihombori,
Shaka.
name, and she basically talked about how everything started in the mind, and the fact that it's outstanding that even I think Tom was talking about this the day he was here. We don't have unity as collaboration, which we don't have because it's all about greed, and I feel like that's when the West won in regards to brainwashing us. In regards to also having these 54 countries, the fact that you cannot fast be friendly with your sister, with your brother, try to help a brother, try to come in for a brother, that's when it starts, because it's like we're always suspicious about each other. But it's so amazing how they can really come together, like their race, and do something. But it's so hard for us to come together and basically support an agenda or an initiative in regards to redefining who we are. Even just the simple thing, just like, babe, I need help in regards to whatever. And maybe you have the help that I need. And the fact that I can see like you have potential, and I can say, oh my gosh, it can be really a beautiful thing. The fact that I'm fighting that support, that's how it starts. What's your take on that? I mean, the video that you've had right now.
As she said, the mind is everything.
Yeah.
And these Westerners, they put in structures to make us not think properly.
Yeah.
We are no longer united in our thoughts. The reason why a lot of black people today are so, the major thing is mainly because of their individual greed.
Right.
And when this thing is in the way, there's no flow. Now, for example, we have popular artists around the world, right?
So true.
Those people are not, they are just the representation of, it's just Burna Boy. But they are team that are working behind him tirelessly every
That's so true. Right.
You understand? So the point is, in order for us to move forward, we must develop our mind or reformat our mind.
Yes.
Right? And be able to collaborate.
Yeah.
That collaboration, I always talk about it because it's so true.
Yeah.
It's not something that because if you're saying you want to fight a fucked up mindset that has been there for donkey of years. They've colonized us, right? Can you do that alone?
No.
Can you do that in one day?
No.
That's it.
Yeah.
Simple.
So which you're kind of saying is, of course, it's gonna take a while if we start this initiative of changing someone's mind.
Yeah.
It's gonna take not like forever, but it's gonna maybe impact now the new generations that's coming.
Yes, exactly.
But not this generation, because now there are even timid people who need to be tamed. The untamed people who are like they will never change. They will never change. Let me ask you a question. Like I am, for example, I'm working for this company. I know. I'm just saying, like I'm working for a company. It's a foreign company that I know maybe it's producing something or chemical that's affecting a percentage of people around similar, like Kenya. Sorry, around Kenya, and then there's this other one who's like working on the organics. The good things that's gonna impact. Let's say our Kenyan people, and this one has like good money, this one has low money. Trust me, I'm just gonna go for the good money. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for the good money. Sometimes it's not even the mindset, sometimes it's the circumstances that make us do whatever we want to do.
Right.
Just to
Okay. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Now, what you just said now is true.
Right.
And I used to have this conversation with my friends some of the time. I tell them, humans are humans.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't deter you from doing your bit.
That is true.
You understand what I'm saying? Policies are made in governments today.
Yeah.
And they can be amended, right? If a government makes a policy for 50% of the population of the country, it's considered to them that they've done it. They've done a great job, because you cannot help everybody.
Yeah.
Some people, like you said, some people don't want to change.
It's so true.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
We are talking about this topic now.
Yes.
For the people that are ready to
It's
listen.
so true.
They are not for everybody.
Yeah.
You can't be for everybody.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So now it's when a lot of people are, like you said, a lot of people are getting awakened to
It's so true.
a lot of things. A lot of people are speaking up lately, because I must tell you, they fucked our mind up, but by the grace of God, God will help us.
Yes, it's so true.
Yeah, that's one part.
Yeah.
I think for me, like I would say, still, it's what he says is like so fine. Like you're talking about the people who are ready to change. But for example, the 20% of the people are willing to change, and the 80% are not willing at all to change. And I think for me, I would say is like it starts with me and you and Tom. Like you have your circle of friends.
Yes.
I have my circle of friends.
Yes.
He has his circle of friends, and I think the way you can talk about like try to it's like networking. It's like, and using this platform, for example, the Black Redefine network. You can use this platform to reach out to people and to try to make people stay woke, you know.
So true.
And it's crazy how we've been, it's not actually colonized, it's brainwashed, because when you talk of colonization, it's really different from brainwashed. We were just colonized, it's okay. Maybe our minds were just like still okay, but brainwashing is another thing. Like brainwashing is really another thing, and it's really happening. I see sometimes my friends who are not proud to be called, like they are abroad, and they're not proud to be called Africans. Like somebody is not proud to be called Kenyan.
It's so true.
And it's so crazy how you see like it's cool for them not to be Africans, but once you like you know your identity. When I know my I know my identity. I know I'm African. I am Kenyan, and this is where my roots are. And I think it's. Once you start, like when I just say, once you start loving who you are, trust me, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy to adjust your mindset and just to know, I'm African. I can't be a white. I can't wake up tomorrow and I'm like, yo, I'm white. I can't be white. I'll still be African.
It's so true.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how, like as you're saying, the Africans are defeated in the mind. That's the first thing, and the fact that you talked about. Like a lot of African Americans, like they do not like to be associated with Africans, right? It's sad because they don't know what the Americans have done to Africans. That's where they come from, literally, right? And the fact that also
that's not true. That's not true.
Can I finish fast?
That's not true, here, Tom.
Can I finish
On
fast?
African American. That's not true. You're speaking from a point of ignorance, here, Tom. You can't say African Americans don't identify with Africans.
Some of them.
Some don't. Some of them don't. Some of them don't. That's true.
Yeah.
You can't make a blanket statement and say all of them. That's not true. But if anything, African Americans are the one that really put African culture on the forefront. But of course, we have psyops of the country trying to say that African Americans are not Africans, because that creates division amongst the global African family. So, and colonization and slavery has been a thing of brainwashing. You can't say all of Africans, because we also felt that the African is too tribal. The Africans ever come say, okay, listen here, we need to make amends for what we did during slavery times before Africa got colonized. Because you did have bad actors in Africa selling other Africans. Not the majority, but this did happen. No one was ever punished. No one was ever brought to any kind of justice. And that's the reason why the system adheres today. Europeans was able to go and colonize it and put all these brainwashing tactics in, as we talk about today. But what you see with online stuff here, Todd, you're not in the street. Remember, the internet's not real. That's not the majority of people in America that are African Americans. That's online banter. That's online. That's not the majority of Africans in America that's on the street level. They're not online and making content. So, but is there a division? Of course.
Yeah.
See, no one wants to be involved with Africa because Africa is on the bottom.
Okay.
It's divided. So no one wants to be part of the losing team here in town. No one wants to be part of a loser. So that's why you got Africans trying to leave Africa now. Everybody running trying to get to America, get to England, get to Italy, get to Germany, get to France. No one wants to be on the losing team. So you have that aspect in this scenario. So understanding that Africans have got to learn to unite and build the country up themselves. But you're caught in propaganda. You worship white people. You love white people. You love Chinese people. You love everybody. You love everybody that's your enemy. Do you even know what an enemy is anymore? Europeans have been... So, there's been a lot of propaganda and miseducation that the Africans had. And it's been continued through the school system. None of those European-centric school systems have been torn down in Africa. Not one. So you believe that the European came and gave you civilization and taught you? These are all lies. And you worship them. You know I'm telling you the truth. But you see where in Kenya alone, this is all African. See where African treats a white person and how they treat another African person. See it. That's called brainwashing. That's brainwashing. Don't make blanket statements until you've immersed yourself in other people. I can make statements about African Americans here, Tom, because I've traveled throughout Africa, Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Tanzania, Brazil, Colombia, Jamaica. I can make statements on African people because I've been to certain parts and immerse myself in their mindset. But I still can't make blanket statements on anybody. So try to refrain from making blanket statements saying African Americans don't choose to be African. I'm an African American. I made Black Eye Fire because I'm African. I wanted to connect Africa back to African Americans back to Africa. That's what I was raised in. So can't make these blanket statements until you understand the dynamics on the ground. That's all I'm trying to say. Go ahead.
Can I say? Yeah, I think we were talking about Kenyans who've moved to America, and the Kenyans in America. Who are not like
Africans.
yeah, for example, and I'm using from here, not the black Americans. Yeah, it's the Africans who've moved to the US or Europe, and they're not proud to be called Kenyans actually. Like they call themselves now Black Americans, and it's crazy because yes, you identify yourself as a Black American, but you're Kenyan. Actually, you were raised here until the age of 5, 6.
What is Kenya? What is Kenya? That's a made-up country. What is Kenya? What is a Nigerian? See, no, they're not Kenyan. Kenya didn't exist until 1960 something. So what is your great-grandparents? Were they Kenyans? See, you take these European constructs again. Did Nigeria exist? Did Tanzania exist? Did Ghana exist? No, they did not. So I did that get back. Oh, they don't call themselves Kenyans anymore.
No, it's
not true though, Keith. That is true.
Keith. But my argument is here. Once now Beth moves to America, and I'm like, you know what? I am African American. Now I'm proud to be called African American. Not like. Actually, what I'm talking about here is not the African thing, it's America. Now they call themselves Americans. Like, there's nothing more like African.
Maybe that's what they like, that's their choice.
Is it a good thing?
But that's not okay. But that's not completely true. Like I said,
that's more like brainwashed. Exactly.
Like
it is. Why? Like why? Like why? No, that's why don't you like? Okay, now like I've moved. I have a friend who's moved who moved when they were 5. They moved to America. And every time you're like, okay, can you now she had this the name, the African name.
Okay.
And actually now the name isn't part of her again, like anymore. Like she got rid of that, and she's like, oh, you know what, I'm American. Like she knows anything more about Africa. She doesn't want to be identified as African. Like,
I know.
She doesn't know anything about African, and it's
that's mind control.
Yeah.
That's her.
So that's what I was talking about.
That's not. Let me tell my little story real quick. Referring to me, that's not exactly true about all Africans who come to America, because I dated a Kenyan when I was in high school, and I didn't know she was even Kenyan because I had moved from. My mama got a job working for the United States government, so she moved to D.C., to Washington, D.C. or Maryland. So I left Los Angeles and moved to Maryland my senior year. And I met her, and I'm like most of African Americans. I didn't know shit about Africa, so don't go crazy yet. I didn't know nothing yet. So she kept telling me, I'm Kenyan. I thought that was some county in Maryland. I said, I don't give a shit whether you're from the county in Kenya. Who gives a shit? I didn't know she was talking about Africa. She kept telling me she was Kenyan. I'm Kenyan. I'm like, okay, I don't give a shit what county you come from.
Yeah.
Okay, who cares? But she kept her Kenyan identity. And she said, no, I'm Kenyan, Keith. I'm from Africa. I said, you talking about the continent of Africa? I said, you talking about the continent?
Yeah.
She said, yeah. I said, okay. So she kept her Kenyan identity. So I don't know if that's 100%. I think that's probably your friend, but she kept reiterating to me that she was Kenyan. I didn't give a shit because I didn't know what Kenya was even at then. I'm like, okay. I thought it was a county in Maryland. I don't know what she was talking about. I said, why do you keep bringing up this Kenyan thing? What? Who cares? Okay. So not everybody is turned away from saying that they're Kenyan. And that was a while ago. So she admitted, said, hey, Keith, I'm Kenyan. I said, okay, cool, but why do you keep bringing that up? So she was proud to be Kenyan. So I can't say everybody is running away from that identity, but she let me know, that she's Kenyan. I'm like, all right. I'm like, okay. I mean, what does that mean? She said, no, I'm from Africa. I said, Oh, okay. Shit out. Damn. All right. But so I'm just saying, not everybody's running away from that identity. I don't know if your friends got a problem with that identity or not. I don't think everybody Kenya's running away. I'm sure some people are, but I'm not saying not everybody. Because she was young and knew her identity. We were like 17 years old. And she was holding on to her Kenyan identity, which I thought was admirable.
Right.
You know, it really didn't make any difference to me, but I thought it was admirable. I didn't even know back then. I was ignorant. I didn't know where the fuck Kenya was or what the fuck it even was. Like, Kenya, fuck is that?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So she's a very proud Kenyan. So I can't say everybody is saying I'm not Kenyan. I'm just an African American.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
guys for
I'm not gonna
joining
throw.
us.
I'm not gonna throw all Africans under the bus.
General Mosquito, thank you for joining us. He's saying, hey, is that tuna salad? He calls you tuna salad.
Yeah.
And also we have Long Bella, thank you for Caroline, thank you Derek for joining us. Also on live on TikTok, we also have Jiva here on YouTube. Kay Williams, thank you so much for joining us. He's saying, I like any black person if they have good sense. And he's also saying the white man's eyes is not colder than the black man's. And then Jiva is also saying, Ewoton, that is not true. What you just said, Jiva, you said it best. I like any black person.
Yeah.
That's Kay Williams saying, Ewoton, that's not true. He said, I like any black person that got common sense. And also say, I don't like Afro-Americans, especially when the whites say it. It positions me separate from America and separate me from Africa. It's like its own class of black, like Afro-Americans?
Afro-Americans?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it? Yeah, Afro-American.
There's Afro-Americans?
Yeah, what is that? Like, what is Afro-American? Is it like African people or black people?
I don't know.
It's short for African.
Oh. Yeah, Jiva said he doesn't like
African American. It's short for African. So you call yourself Black American. Just all we're doing is playing semantics. Actually, playing semantics. It's really the same thing. All we're doing is playing semantics. At the end of the day, we're all African. I can't. When I went to Africa, when I went down to Brazil, they called them some Afro-Brazilians. I couldn't get mad about them. They identify as being African. They know they're African, but they live in Brazil. So they're Brazilians. That's what they are. They're from Brazil. They're not living in Africa right now. They're living in Brazil. So they're going to be Afro-Brazilians.
Right.
I guess you get mad about them calling them where they live at. It's stupid to me. You know, they're not in Africa. Hell, they got taken away from Africa. They got stolen away. They live in Brazil. So they're going to be running around calling themselves an African. They're going to be calling themselves Afro-Brazilians.
Right.
That's what they are. Or Afro-Colombians. Or Afro, you know. That's it. But at least, to the Jamaicans, when they call themselves Afro-Jamaicans, they just call themselves Jamaicans. You get mad at them? They're different. You know, they're African people. They don't even put the African in. They said, I'm Jamaican or I'm Haitian.
Alrighty. Thomas, something to say?
Yeah. So Beth was saying, that she's not happy with some Africans, right? That go over to these countries and be like, they don't want to live as Africans, right? Keith made a point. Excuse me. Keith made a point and said most of these countries, Ghana, Nigeria, 1963. That's to say, before 1963, Nigeria didn't exist. Now imagine the individual that moves there also now says to himself that look, maybe something is wrong in the structure that I've been taught, and I want to connect into something I can really relate with and understand better. Are you going to fault that person? Okay.
I didn't really understand what you said.
You didn't understand what I'm saying? Alright, let me explain again. Now, Keith said
I understood him. Go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
Some of these countries, we say Nigeria gained independence 1960, right? That is before 1960. There was nothing called Nigeria. Is that not so?
True. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Same thing with Kenya, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you decide to go to the US, right?
Now or before?
No. Now
okay.
You decide to go to the US now, and you now stumble into this information. It that makes sense to you that before 1960 there was no Kenya or there was no Nigeria, right?
So true.
And you decide that okay, I've been struggling to even connect to the cultures of Kenya. But when I got to US, I find it more easier. Maybe my roots are from.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I hope you understand what I'm
okay,
saying.
I
Is that
get
not
it.
possible?
It is.
Would you now? That's why I said it's a choice. You really cannot. Some people, it's not because they are running away from Africa,
Okay.
but it's some people. It's because they feel like they can connect easier
In
more
America.
into the American society.
Right.
You will not have to fault that person that the person is lying or defaulting and running away. It's the person's choice.
Yeah.
That's what my opinion, though.
I agree with you.
My opinion, though.
That's a good
Is
point,
it also the reason why the fact that you said that this person moved to this other country or continent and they feel like they are fitting in, right?
Yeah.
Is it also the fact that we have a lot of voters in Africa? Let's talk about business, trading, whatever you want to do in the industry, connecting with people, collaborating, networking for maybe whatever you're trying to sell out there to become more influential in a way, or just bettering yourself.
Yeah.
If we didn't have these borders, do you think you can be able to move anywhere and maybe let's say Ghana is better in the business sector in regards to growing your company?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
If we
Or
didn't- if we-
Nigeria, or
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
If we didn't have these borders, things would have been more easier.
Right.
Like, as a Nigerian coming to Kenya, or you as a Kenyan going to Nigeria,
Yeah.
they will first kill you at the airport with many
And
documentation
the
and
visas.
visas and
What
many
is a
things.
visa? Yeah.
You know, there are some things that you really cannot do freely in your country as a Nigerian. Like, really cannot do some things freely.
Yeah.
Just like if you go to Nigeria, you can't do. That is what the borders. It
Yeah.
has put a constraint around this thing that
we cannot really
cannot
do
exactly.
more, right, which we should be doing more, like the way the United States is. They basically just different states, but
You-
people can be able to
European-
move
what do you
to
call it?
different
Schengen
states.
visa. When you have a Schengen visa, you can go to different places,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So those people, that's why I said structure.
Mm-hmm.
They have structure a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and we as Africans, we really cannot see these things and really understand that you cannot go to the white man's land and make some
Yeah.
contributions. They will throw you out.
That
course,
is
of
so
course.
true.
So you understand? There's a limitation to what you can do.
Yeah.
These people have built it. It's not something they started today.
Of course.
They've built it for years.
Yeah.
They know. We as Africans, I was giving you an example the other day. Most of these countries, European countries, and
Mm-hmm.
if you drive anyhow, they'll give you parking tickets,
Yeah.
right? A parking whatever,
Yes,
right?
that's so true.
But here in Kenya, right, or in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
just wake up and drive as you like. Nobody's
Yeah.
gonna. You see, the structure. There's no
You don't
structure.
have structure.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
And I don't
We
think
need
it will,
structure.
I don't think we will ever have structure.
Really.
You know why?
Why?
Because now you see how our presidents in Africa are accepting the things the white people are kind of like. I'm not mentioning things
Of
because
course.
I don't want for myself, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, like I've seen, I can't say especially my country, but in Africa,
Okay.
where white people give you a loan with conditions.
Oh my, it's so weird because we had that conversation here.
Yeah,
with
and
Timori.
there's
Exactly.
no way
Yeah.
that's gonna happen because now we've been controlled.
Yeah.
There's even Chinese
The railway?
no, the Chinese police station in somewhere in East Africa,
Okay.
in a certain country, and
Chinese police station.
police station, yeah.
Okay.
And it's crazy because if we even can allow a Chinese police station, yeah, we are going quite beyond. It's
Is
going
it for
crazy.
the Chinese or for the Africans?
Now I
Did you
do my
see?
research out
There was
there.
one in Nigeria too that happened too.
Yeah.
That they had a supermarket, and as a Nigerian you cannot. It's in Abuja. If you check on Google, you see.
Yeah.
If you cannot go there as a Nigerian to buy something because if you only buy things with on.
They shut it down. They shut it down.
Yeah.
They shut it down. Come.
Wow.
You understand?
They should have been shut it down. They should burn it down to the ground.
They shut it down.
No, the
They
mall.
shut
The
it
mall.
down.
Yeah, the mall in Nigeria.
That's
It's-
crazy.
It has been going on for a very long time. It was
Wow.
because
What?
one guy just he just made a
Landed.
video and wanted to just go
Of
into
course.
the place, and
Yeah.
the guards there told him like, look, we're not going to let you inside because the management said that we don't allow Nigerians and they only spend here
In the
and there.
country.
Wow.
So the video went viral, and then before the Nigerian government intervened
Mhm.
and went to the place and checked and saw that even all the things, the products that they have in their shelves
Yeah.
are all placed in yuan
Yeah.
on them, and that's
Yeah.
when they had to shut it down.
But does it mean the government allowed it?
Of course, you
Obviously.
can construct. You
Yeah.
cannot construct a mall in a country without the consent of the country.
Yeah.
This
So,
is what
yeah.
I'm telling you about
Yeah.
structure. This is what I'm telling you about structure.
Which will never
There are some things that, right?
Yeah.
The, the government might not be able to know that particular thing is going on.
Sure, Tom.
Are you sure?
Come on now.
Are you sure? A mall?
Now.
That's
now.
a mall.
A mall.
Infrastructure.
Hold on now. Hold on.
Okay.
The corruption of the way Africa is corrupted. Right?
Yeah.
Now, let's say in Nigeria now, the governor of Lagos, right?
Yeah.
Allows something like that.
Okay.
Does the federal government know? Now, the government of Lagos state government, right, which is like Lagos is like a state in Nigeria, right?
Sure.
So, the governor, allows that because he feels like I can just be getting benefit from them. Now, the federal government, they don't know. Yeah. That's what I'm telling you about the structure and the that gap. Those in the Western world, right? Yeah. There is no gap for that. You can't do that,
right? Because
they build structures that checkmate all these things,
right?
Do you understand?
I get it.
They have a regulatory body that checkmates all these things,
right?
Do you understand me?
Right.
So for Africa, it's really going to be difficult, except like she said, we work on our minds.
Yeah. That is so true. Let me pause to that. I want to play another short video by Africana Chi Homeboy, and then we'll basically also understand everything that we're talking about here, because she's basically pointing it out in a very deeper acts.
The African Union ambassador to the United States has resigned. She was going to be running for president of her country, and that we would want you to be the next African Union ambassador to the United States. Now keep in mind, I am a scientist through and through. So who in their right mind would want me to become an ambassador in Washington? I thought that was a joke and it was laughable. Well, I fought it for about 6 months, but because being an African, after a while I had to listen to my elders. So I figured, okay, if you think you're putting a joke on me, the joke is on you, because I'm going to only go to Washington for 6 months and then I'll come back. And I'll tell my elders that I tried, but I couldn't do it. But something happened during the first 4 to 5 months. And mind you, I'm staying in a hotel because I knew I wasn't going to get into a contract, renting or buying, that I wasn't going to last. But what was very disturbing was the disrespect that was so blatant. I would be sitting in meetings initially, because you know, as a doctor, you're always a doctor no matter where you are. And I thought it was really quite humorous sitting with all these big diplomats, and here I am, a medical doctor, and I'm supposed to be useful. I'm busy diagnosing them. You know, you got a thyroid condition, you are bipolar, and I got a pill for you. I'm not really paying attention to the deliberations, because I don't think politicians accomplish much anyway. So it was more important to diagnose them and their medical conditions. But every now and then somebody would say something and I'm like, wait just a minute, did they just say that? You know? And one particular event, there was a whole team of African ministers, and one particular leader of a particular department in Washington started raising their voice and screaming and yelling at them. You Africans, you will never speak with one voice. This document over here is going to be a piece of paper 20 years from now. I said, okay. So we got all the ministers here. Somebody say something. It wasn't my show. I was like third. You know how you sit, you got your team leader, and then according to rank, I was number 3. So clearly I wasn't supposed to speak. I waited for those who were supposed to speak. They did not. More and more of those situations became apparent to me. And I remember 5 months into my stay in Washington, I called home and I said, well, you know what, guys, I'm going to hang around a little bit longer. There were a few, you know what, that needed a good kicking. And that I was going to hang around until they ran me out of Dodge, and that's exactly what happened. The disrespect is not just for the Africans on the continent. The disrespect is for black people around the world. The abuse is not just for Africans on the continent. The abuse is for black people wherever you find us. I'm going to share with you some basic facts. You see, our story is a simple one. Our story is of truth and facts, which are two constants that do not change. And all we need to do is give the world an...
Keith always says that, like there's basically truth and facts in regards to who we are as Africans. It's just a truth and it's basically a fact that you cannot change it. Yeah.
Overdose of our truth. And insist on it. As we speak today, I'm going to take you back centuries. Long before the children of Africa were taken out of Africa as slaves. There was some serious resistance when the occupiers from the West came to Africa, contrary to what some might think. They didn't just give up their children, but the fighting began long before slavery. And the resistance was those who led them, the majority of them, their heads, as we speak today, are sitting in jars in Europe. Are you aware of that? Our leaders, our ancestors who fought the wars of resistance, their heads, their remains are sitting in jars throughout Europe. And the same people have the audacity to come to Africa and talk to us about human rights. But what's even more disturbing is that we entertain them and we don't remind them of these skeletons in their closet.
That's a good point, eh? In regards also to our government. And I think it's basically talked about how, is it you or Tom right now, about how we're allowing the government leaders, someone talked about the leaders, how being, the railway thing and the Chinese thing right now, that we're still being controlled. Yeah. It's because of the assistance of money that you talked about right now. Yeah? But I feel like we cut that off. And Jim Moore was talking about it the other day. Like, you cannot do that because they need the funds to pay off the loans, and it's something that you're given right now. Yeah. It's something that you have to always pay, so you're basically under their control. You know.
Well, you gotta understand the debt trap that was created. You guys, they used the Chinese to come in because you were used to European ripping you off, and then Africans, like, your minds are messed up. You worship everybody. You thought the Chinese were your friend. China's a made-up country. Most Africans believe China was some major miracle. What? Are you out your fucking mind? No, it's not. China was set up by the West, by the actual individuals that run this planet, that run the planet. It was set up. It's not an independent country that just became rich. China was decided to be their next empire after they ran America through its course and destroyed it. So what they did is 40 years ago, they said, okay, we're going to move all the industries from America to China. Okay, we're going to move all the manufacturing there. China was a poor, backward-ass country. And so they created China when they stole away from the Japanese during World War II. The Japanese really had control of China at that time. And so they wanted to make China their new frontier. And so as they built China up, they used China to come to the back door because a lot of Africans said, hey man, these loans ain't no good from IMF, World Bank. And so they double pronged it with the Chinese with the same debt trap. So you get China to come and build you bad roads, fucked up ass old train systems. You pay 20, 30 times what the train costs. Like that train in Kenya, that train is like 40 years old technology, but you pay 3 times the price of it because the African leaders were groomed by the West, the puppets. So you don't have to. Only way you're gonna get free, you're gonna start doing what Kenny Faso, Mali, and Niger doing. You're gonna say I've had enough, and you're gonna start overthrowing the country. You're gonna have revolution, and then you're gonna have real education. Real education. The African today doesn't know anything about Africa. That's why you can go into Nigeria and create a Chinese store. And with Chinese, they're testing you. They know that you're weak. They know you love other people. Because no one would do that in you can't be African and go to China and set up an African shop. They'll kill you. They'll take you out and put a bullet in your head. There won't be no just closing your store down. First it'll be burned down to the ground, then they're going to kill you. Only in Africa they're going to practice this disrespect because they're testing you. How far will you let us go? And they're not just doing it in Nigeria. We've seen it, they've done it in Kenya, they started doing it in Zambia. When they created them restaurants and told those Africans they couldn't come in, the black guy walking, hey, you can't come in. He's like, what you mean? I'm Zambian. He said, no, this is only for Chinese people. They want to see if you're going to allow it to happen. You're supposed to burn that shit down to the ground. Right. And then if the government allows it, you're supposed to toss their ass out through revelation, through disorder in the street. But you've been made cowards and scared of everything in Africa, right. Sadly enough. Right. So, but they're scared that's starting to not happen because the youth are starting to understand, hey man, how can we live on the richest continent on the planet and be poor? Right. See, this is the dichotomy of Africa. How can I live on the richest continent on the planet? This is unarguable. No argument. And African people be impoverished. Right. Because you don't control Africa. That's why you're impoverished. That is so true. You don't control it. So until you understand the game has been played on you, understand you have enemies and not being a child. Oh, everybody's my friend. No, the other African is your friend. But you're too tribal. Yeah. You don't want to be with the other African. He's a Yoruba, he's a Hausa, he's a Fulani, he's a all these big tribes you got. So, Lua, Kikuya, whatever all these goofy tribes. I don't live all these damn goofy tribes are. That don't mean a goddamn thing when you gotta get power. Yeah. The African has not been taught that you need power. Yeah. He's scared of power. In the goofy churches or the goofy, well, not so much in Islam, but in your church, oh, you should be poor. It's better to be poor and fucked up than you go to heaven. Oh my God. Like what? Are you insane? Are you crazy? Right. You throw that doctrine to the side. So, so the fight has always been for Africa and with Africa. They don't want African people to have it. So you've been brainwashed against your better self. Right. And so when you talk about these systems were set up by the Europeans to make sure they keep the resources. Yes. They rich. See, before they came to Africa, Europe was impoverished, dirty, filthy, illiterate, backward. Right. But you're not taught none of that in your educational system in Africa. You're taught that this white man was great. He came to help you. This motherfucker couldn't even read or write. Right. Couldn't help you do what? He's illiterate. These are things you have to start getting a backbone and have African love. Yeah. And those borders were created to cause division. Like you said, why do we got the borders in Europe no more? Yeah. You should be able to travel from Nigeria to Kenya without any passports, any visas. Yeah. That's your right as an African. But the Europeans don't want that. Europeans. Go ahead.
Before Tom gets his take, I can see here Jiva General Mosquitoes. Thank you so much for joining us here on Let's Pop with Ewoton. He says, "They call me black or melanated. If I go to the continent, call me brother. And then Jiba is also saying, Ewoton, I was saying, in England, we jailed a man for wearing a pink outfit with a matching hat. He looks good, General Mosquito. In England, they're going to jail him. He says you should try it. And also Jiba is saying, who cares if the government knows? You know, and you should not allow it unequal treatment in regards to the Chinese and also the police station thing. Also, we are familiar with this lady. She really gets it.
Yeah, they set up police stations all throughout Africa. It's all throughout Africa because they want to have control of Africa. The idea you allow somebody else to put a policing agency within your country when you're colonized again. You don't got no police stations in Africa. Of Africa keeping China. Of course you don't. You completely backwards and seem like a child. That shit should be burned down to the ground. But the African's so damn, his mind is so colonized. He's the Chinese, man. They've come to help us. You're a goddamn adult. Why is everybody coming to help you?
Right.
You're an adult. You're supposed to help yourself.
Yeah.
Why is everybody got to come to help you?
We don't need help.
No, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You're an adult.
Right.
That's a child talking about people come to help me. Ain't nobody coming to help no African. I'm coming to rob, steal, and rape from your stupid ass. And if you don't know that, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing it. That's why you see all these damn videos of Chinese whipping on African men and shit. Like what?
Right.
Okay, I'll tell you. Let me give you one word of advice.
Okay.
He said they're upset by Africans because of African Americans, because of Africans. I'm going to tell you one thing you won't ever see in America. Any Chinese ever whipping or beating up on an African man or woman. Well, the women they will because they be in the Chinese stores by themselves. We tell them don't go there. But you'll never see no Chinese man ever whipping up on no African American man. Ever. Ever. You'll never see it. I bet my life you'll never see it. You can go to YouTube and take that up. Say Chinese beating on African American. You'll never see it. Because they know we'll break their motherfucking back.
Right.
That's how you gotta be. So you gotta put the Chinese have come to Africa to colonize. They're not there to be your friends. The groupie governments are being controlled. They're not there to help you and be your buddy. Okay, you need to know that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
General Mosquito is also on Tom's case.
I know.
General Mosquito, Jiba is asking him, the pink outfit is asking, do you own an ice cream shop?
Yes, I own an ice cream shop now. Don't you understand? I'm an entrepreneur. So there are a lot of things I'm doing.
It's marketing.
I just tired for that guy.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. All you got is a hat and a coat on. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
He doesn't forget me, yeah. I think they broke his heart.
He broke his heart?
Somebody broke his heart. The girl was wearing a pink dress.
The girl was wearing a pink dress.
Yes, I think so.
It's reminding him.
It's making him aggressive. He wants to fight.
General Mosquito.
Oh, God, don't worry.
He says, and then you have borders within the borders in the form of tribalism.
Yeah,
true.
Exactly.
That's number one thing, especially in Kenya. It's crazy.
Tribalism, right?
It's not
crazy in Kenya.
It's not just Kenyan. It's not just Kenyan. It's all of Africa. Not just Kenya. See, that's why they made the border so you'll know the rest of Africa. He's from Nigeria. He knows that's the same shit Nigeria.
Right.
I've been to places worse than Nigeria than it is Kenya. That shit's crazy.
Right.
Like, what?
Even
Ghana. And get a mosquito Ghanaian ass. You worry about pink, get a mosquito. Worry about the tribalism in Ghana. Go solve that first. Don't worry about this man's pink hat. Go solve the tribalism in Ghana. Get your ass out of England and go back to Ghana and solve the tribalism.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, he's Ghanaian.
Yes.
Okay, you said it now, no problem. Let him talk. No one that is attacking me there. Now I know why. Oh. Leave that guy. Let's talk something else. Leave him.
Oh my God.
You have told me since now.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mention that. He's from Ghana.
Leave that guy.
He's in the UK.
Cool
I'm just going to continue this and then we're going to get pointers from
yes,
here.
but I wanted to ask you.
Sure,
right?
of course.
I wanted to ask you the question. Now, we've been talking about, okay, I see we've been talking about the problems, sometimes solutions.
Yeah.
Now, Kit, in your opinion, what do you think that we can do to really unify Africa, especially when we can trace the root cause down to the mindset of the people? We are not ready to. In fact, your neighbor is fighting like Kweku is fighting me now.
Yeah. General Mosquito.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Now it's been traced down to the mind. So how can we be able to educate people, or what are the components we could put together to sanitize the minds of the people that are willing to learn? Because some people want to learn, but they don't have enough information.
That is true.
Right?
Yeah.
So what can we do? What can we do as we're sitting here?
Yeah.
What can Hotfire Black Fire Network do?
Yeah.
In terms of awakening the minds of the people that want to really learn and improve to make better choices.
Yeah.
So that's my question.
Oh, is that to me? Is that the air time? That's air time, right?
No, it's you.
Oh, I thought that was the air time. What you do? What we doing right here? You gotta get awareness. To understand, getting awareness, you're gonna get pushed back by the. That's why we've been shadow banned. See, in the beginning, when I first started, my numbers were huge. 500,000 subs and 100. So they found out who I was. They started taking down all the channels. Taking that. So understand. First, you gotta get just common knowledge out there. So you got to be a conduit of knowledge. But then you got to put action on the ground. You got to create organizations. So, that's what I'm in the midst of doing now. You got to create organizations, and you got to understand, when you see other Africans talking against other Africans, you understand that's usually the white man with a psyop. So that's what Ewoton's been seeing on the internet, because she hasn't been sophisticated enough to understand what a psyop even is. The white man runs psyops all the time. It's a psychological operation to make sure Africans stay divided, because you are the wealth of the planet. Nothing moves without Africans being divided.
Right.
Nothing on this planet moves. So when you see someone online dividing Africans, usually understand there's a white hand behind it. Usually, always. You say, I hate this Nigerian bastard. Or I hate this Ghanaian motherfucker. Don't get triggered.
Yeah.
Don't get triggered. Understand, there's a white hand usually behind it, funding it. It's usually a white hand funding it. And even the tribal beasts that we have in Africa were funded more. When they came into Africa with the colonialism, they funded all this division.
Right.
And a lot of tribes, you guys think that in Africa there, the white man created more tribes. He created more tribes when he went in there. Made fake tribes. Like the beef in Rwanda, the Tutsis and the Hutus. They created that tribe. And then it caused a genocide in '94. They created that tribe. Let's say me and the brother sitting in pink, right? Our heads are different. So he's now a Tutsi and I'm a Hutu. Okay. And I say, the Tutsis are better than you Hutus.
Yeah.
So for a generation, I'm mad. I'm mad at my brother from Nigeria because he's now given special treatment, and he's a Tutsi, and I'm a dirty Hutu, and I want revenge against his ass. So that's real. You can look that up here, Tom. Like when I had the Zimbabweans working for me down in Zimbabwe, before they got scared, this is scary work, because the government did come to them doing this work. They shut it down. They told you that this is real. This is real work. These corrupt ass governments.
Right.
Yes. They're watching you.
They shut your network. They're watching me.
So they're watching you. You think you're not being watched?
I believe I am being watched.
Every time you're being watched.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't know that?
I already know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Black fathers and threat to white power. Yeah, you're being watched.
Okay.
This is real.
Right.
I already know it's real. I got friends that I already know it's real. But anyway, I'm not gonna go that deep.
Okay.
You might get scared. Yeah, that's how I lost all Zimbabwean staff. You go through the old archives, you see we had a Zimbabwean staff. I lost all of them.
Wow.
Because the government said, hey, might be a bullet in your head. Yeah. But anyway,
Really?
anyway, yes, really, yeah.
Wow.
You know how dangerous this is to wake up African people and unite us? Yes. Okay, okay, let me do this real quick. Okay, let me give me a second. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this real quick.
Okay.
The guy come back.
General Mosquito is saying, okay, he's right. The Ghana-Nigerian beef is in my blood. It's automatic, but it's all love, my brother.
All right. Cool, thank you.
And then Jibra is saying, cool, brother, good stuff to you. So there's a Nigerian Ghanaian beef.
Please don't go there. Let's wait for Kid to come back. Because
Is it something big? Or is it
it's
normal?
something it's something big, something normal, something.
Is it something like, have you ever seen the beef between Kenya and Tanzania sometimes, Kenya and Nigeria? Is it that beef? Or is it's more than that?
Like
No.
industries.
No.
Ours is just
Everything
more
is
like
fighting.
that.
Yeah.
Everything is fighting between Nigeria and Kenya. From the food, the jollof rice,
Right.
Yeah.
a lot of
I think I
things.
don't know about
Right?
this jollof rice.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
things. But it's not like we go physical with each other.
Yeah,
Right.
It's just
We love each other, but we always want to dominate and say
Yeah, and I'm better.
Okay.
Ghana is better than Nigeria.
Okay,
Nigeria is
get
better
it.
than
But we, in
Ghana.
terms of relationships,
Yeah.
like,
You're good. You guys are
You're
good.
good.
yeah, we're good.
Ah.
We know how
Okay.
to. That's why we
Yeah,
always
yeah,
say
yeah.
that it's
Sir,
just like we're playing.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, kid.
Okay, I went the wrong. The Ugandan staff is doing their show too. I went the wrong damn chat room. I went the wrong damn studio.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I'm here.
Okay.
Hey, this is Ugandan staff. What the hell's going on? Anyway.
Oh my god.
It happens every time.
Okay.
Shit happens.
Okay.
Okay, so let's. Okay, so I'm talking about okay, so this on my screen right there, Ewoton, you see that lady?
Oh, just a moment.
Okay, she's Zimbabwe. Her name is Rumbi Zai. That was Rumbi, right? She's Zimbabwean. So what happened to Rumbi Zai, during the shows that we do, the Zimbabwean government came to her house, paid her a little bit, because they monitor everything.
Okay.
So, but anyway, but for them, we was understand through history that they had created tribes when the Europeans came into what we call Zimbabwe today,
Right.
but just that part of Africa. They created more tribes to make divisions,
Okay.
so it'd be easy for them to conquer. So, Rumbi Zai, but shout out to the my Zimbabwean staff. They were brilliant. I'm not gonna lie, they were brilliant.
Okay.
But so we know that they created her tribe of Shona were created by white people.
Okay.
And we went back and did the research. She's like, God damn. I said, yeah. That her whole tribe that she thinks go back in ancient time doesn't. It was created by the Europeans to go against the dominant tribe in Zimbabwe at the time. So a lot of tribes that we think are even ancient Africa, they're not. A lot of them were created by the Europeans when they came in to divide and conquer. So, but you know, she's not Ruby. Ruby got scared. I get it. This is real work. So making organization, Ewoton, organizing and teaching African people is dangerous for your health. You're supposed to be ignorant, dumb, and caught in religion.
Okay.
Knowing the truth is dangerous. That's why they want to ban TikTok all throughout Africa. Because the youth are starting to question things.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this doesn't make any sense. Hey, this is crazy. But, let me take a picture up. Let's see. But yeah, so that's what you do. You bring Africans together. So, like I said, so hopefully I'll basically build another one in South Africa. They want to be in South Africa first. I build in Kenya first. But yeah, so trying to build in Zimbabwe Ewoton. That got chopped down.
Right.
Yeah, this is real. So, you're probably gonna be scared tonight. People watching you.
Okay.
waking up African people, Ewoton, is real. It's dangerous. You're supposed to be caught in Christianity or Islam in ignorance. You're not supposed to know how the world works. You're supposed to be caught your whole life. From the day you live, the day you die, you're supposed to be caught in fantasies. So when you start waking up African people, it's a danger to the power structure because Africa is the wealth of the planet. They want that wealth. They want Africa. My old mom, I see everybody saying on TikTok now. They want Africa without the African. I don't need you niggas, but I need the continent.
Yeah.
And I want it. Chinese don't want your ass. They don't like you.
Yeah.
People say, oh, the Chinese might be a better, they might be a better than the European. No, they don't do the same thing. But the Chinese are slick with theirs. They know you hate each other. Chinese are trying to impregnate African women.
Yeah.
They want title to the land, so you can't throw their ass out. They want to come and make a bunch of mulatto children. They want to make mixed breeds. See,
what are you laughing, Tom?
I know that, huh?
What you're
Yeah, it's real.
He's right.
He's right.
This is war. It's warfare.
Right.
Yeah. Don't look at what they did in Gabon. The French knew it. The French made their own coup because the half Chinese nigga was about to win. They overthrew his ass in a real election in Gabon. So they put they had their puppet in there. He really lost, but he still kept power. That was Ali Bongo, whatever his goofy name is. So the half Chinese breed, that the Chinese project is make sure we impregnate these black women, raise these half kids up. They're going to be more loyal to China, not Africa. We'll take over the continent that way. China, even that dumbass Museveni knew. He said, nah, listen, Africa's got to understand war tactics.
Right.
China's not there to be your friend. And when Africa becomes rich, not to be your fucking friend. Africa's always looking for a friend. You need a friend, look in the mirror.
Right.
Look at another African next to you. That's your friend. The Nigerian's your friend. The Zimbabwean is your friend. The Ghanaian is your friend. Because you know why? They're African like you. These borders are made up. So there's nobody no such thing as a Nigerian, a Kenyan, a Zimbabwean, a Zambian. You're African first. Once you understand that, you'll take back power. African first. I don't want to know about your goofy tribe. I don't want to know about your goofy country. You're African first.
Right.
Because the Chinese are Chinese first. The European is European first. Africans got to learn to be African first. Okay? I'm African first. I'm more than an African American. I'm African first.
Right.
That's what I identify with. Before I'm an African American, I was an African. Taken out of the goddamn, my family comes from Nigeria and Congo. I was taken out of that bitch 500 years ago.
Really? Good to know.
So, it is what it is. So, much love, family. Let's get back to this discussion. Let me go bother the Ugandans. Let me go bother the Ugandans.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate that.
Let me go bust it on them and say, are you Negroes Africans or are you Ugandans? Let's find out.
Alrighty, thank you so much. Much love, Dave. Appreciate that.
Much love, family.
Alrighty. So, and I say, what's your comment in regards to that? The fact that we're Africans first.
Yeah.
And understanding.
It actually got to me and I'm like,
really?
What? Yeah, that's strong. That's everything. I'm African first before I'm Kenyan. I'm African first.
Yeah.
It's something.
Because you always say, I'm Kenyan, I'm Nigerian, I'm Congolese.
It's like now we are we are separating ourselves from like Nigeria, Ghana.
Yeah.
When I say I'm Kenyan, now it will make Tom an outcast.
Yeah. It's so true.
Yeah. So when you say you're African first, it's something.
Yeah,
that's strong.
So it sounds better. We're one.
It makes me now think about the things that it makes me think about a lot. Let me share something.
Sure.
I was but we were still at CCI and it's crazy. We booked an Airbnb around some place. Okay. And I got to an elevator and I see Somalis in the elevator. They were like 5. Okay. And trust me, I got out. I was scared. I did, and then when I got out,
This is
like
in
I
CCI?
yes, I sat,
Okay.
I actually questioned myself. I'm like, why am I being scared? It's because
Really?
all I know is Somalis are Al-Shabaab.
Right.
And trust me, that changed my mindset. After that incident, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I thought I was okay. I'm not tribalistic. I'm this nice person, but I wasn't.
Right.
I think the things that we watch on TV, not everybody is
Yeah.
Al-Shabaab is like, it's an organization.
Yeah.
It's
So
an
true.
organization. So
Yeah.
and Somali is another thing. So,
It's so
once
true.
I got to that elevator,
Mm-hmm.
and once I panicked, I actually got out, and I was like, no, this is not okay. Like Somali is just our
Yeah.
they're like my brothers and sisters, and
yeah.
now I'm scared of them. It was crazy, and I've never talked about this.
Really?
It was crazy, and trust
Yeah.
me, I have Somali friends,
Yeah.
and they're so nice. They're
Yeah.
amazing people.
Yeah.
But now, when you watch something on TV and it get to you, and you're like, they're like, yo, Al-Shabaab. Now they're making Al-Shabaab to be like all the Somali,
It's so
but
true.
it's just an
It's
organization.
so true.
So I think once I think about, yes, I'm African. Somali is African,
Of
and
course.
yeah, even in Kenya we have that, and the Gaza thing is it's worse. So I don't know. I think we still
It's
have to
Africa.
like change our
Deeply,
mindset, like deeply.
individually,
Talk
as
about
the lady
individually.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might think you're okay.
Yeah.
You're not tribalistic. You're
Yeah.
not this kind of a
Not
person. But
judgy.
deep
You're
down,
not
you're not
judgy.
judgy. But
Yeah.
deep down, you are. I didn't think I was. Trust me, I didn't think I was.
Yeah.
And once I got there, I got scared.
Mm.
I got scared. Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
eye-opening.
Be careful
I
what
thank you
feed
for
your
sharing
mind,
that.
That's just the truth.
Yeah.
It's so
Be
true.
careful the things you put in you let into your
Okay.
mind.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
In seeking for knowledge, don't go and don't try to cut corners.
Yeah.
Try to get raw knowledge from a natural point,
Yeah.
as fast as you can go,
Mhm.
right? Most of the times is we download what we
What
want
for us?
exactly.
Yes.
We're biased. They call
Yeah.
it confirmation bias,
Mhm.
right? You're already biased in.
Yeah.
So you sieve information. You want to learn this one and not learn this one.
Yeah.
You want to you now segregate, and now
Mhm.
we're at the point where all this knowledge that we're talking about, or
Yeah.
all these things that exist, right?
Yeah.
We really don't know what fits us.
It's true.
We don't know what. So I feel like when you are diverse, in not being picky around the knowledge that you're supposed to, then
Yeah.
you will be able to find what we're looking for. Looking for the answers, right?
It's true.
The
We're
real-
definitely
the
looking for
answers,
answers. Yeah.
right? That's what we're looking for. But
That is so true.
when you have the mindset of the fact that you want to always segregate and
Mhm.
Ewoton is your friend and Beth
Beth
is
is not,
she's,
yeah.
she's somehow you.
Right.
It happens every day.
It
You
does.
check yourself. You would see it there.
It's
Yeah.
true.
It happens
Actually, it's so
every
true.
day.
Yeah, I agree
It is
with you.
because of they said most of the things that we're taught or we're seeing
Yeah.
from childhood
Yeah.
and all that, they have a way of replaying themselves in our adult relationships.
That's so true. Yeah.
Do you get
it's-
it?
Yeah.
And if you're not aware of that, you will continue repeating patterns. Or you see where knowledge comes in. You
Yeah.
need to seek for it. So
Yeah.
you can be able. It's not because you are not going to make mistakes, but you will learn from them.
Mhm.
You would allow yourself
Yeah.
make mistakes and be
Yes.
okay with it and
Yeah.
forgive yourself and
Yes.
do better.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nice, that's so deep
Yeah.
in regards to
That's
that.
deep, yeah.
I'm gonna read a few comments and then we're gonna be winding up in regards to this amazing. I feel so much wiser by the end of this week. Honestly, I'm like, oh, smart. Good topics. But shout out to Mr. Blackwood Fair. That's Keith for always informing us, educating us, and also teaching us about a lot of who we are as Africans and also about our continent. I can see Mr. Jiba saying, General Mosquito is saying, but I read that comment about he's right about the Nigerian and Ghana beats in my blood. It's automatic, but it's all love, brother. And they'll say an informed African mind is dangerous, and that's what I think they're really trying to really control us still, because it's dangerous. Because you're woke, you're the light, you're the beginning, you're the end, as General
When we are
Mosquito
woke, we're
says.
brutal.
You're the beginning and the end. I'm sorry.
I said when we are woke, we're brutal.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's so true. And I think, shout out to another guest who always comes here, Leslie, always says that the fact or the moment these people really come to take your land, basically remove you, like right now they come and remove us from our land, you'll see the brutality in an African man. They will fight for
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
we would definitely fight for that. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us live on TikTok. We really appreciate you for joining us in this conversation, and also on streaming, and also the YouTube panel. Thank you so much, Jiba, General Mosquito, K. Williams, for always coming in and supporting us. Thank you, Mr. Blackout Fire, for a beautiful, educative, informative conversation. We appreciate you in regards to that. And we're almost basically we're winding up, not almost. It's been an amazing conversation here on Let's Pop with Ewoton. Remembering that you are the change you need to see in the world. You matter. You're beautiful. And let's continue redefining Africa. I'll give you a moment to basically share your goodbyes and also something short in regards to those who are listening.
Thank you so much, Ewoton, for having us. It's been a lovely show, and I'm so glad. Like, it makes me happy once, like, you see how people are starting to become woke and like talk more about Africa, and it's amazing. And stay woke, African people.
Hey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So it's been great conversations here.
Yeah.
Like, I've enjoyed. I've also learned a lot from you, everybody, and I'm glad that we're all gradually accepting it. We cannot do it all in one day, but I believe that through collaboration, we can achieve that. Junior Mosquito, hello. My God.
Is there anything for that I can say? But thank you so much, guys, for joining us in Let's Pop with Ewoton. The topic was how can we define the African mind after being colonized, or basically brainwashed? How can we redefine our minds after being brainwashed and taught about a lot of things of who we are? But how can we define that by relearning about who we are and about how Africa was and how it can be. Thank you so much. We're going to continue with Let's Work with Ewoton on Monday next week. Have a beautiful, fabulous weekend. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved one. Be responsible this weekend. And just remember, you are the change you need to see in the world. Much love, family. Have a great afternoon. But we are coming back with Rhythm and Scoop. Kindly join us as we continue the conversation. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.